Hi, my name is Ezra.
Hi, Ezra. Apparently, Ezra hid under his parents' bed and he saw something he didn't want to see. I'm not entirely sure. I want to know. I'm also not entirely sure why you would want to do that. Hello. Sometimes I watch these videos. I don't know why. I guess you like it. Okay, let's continue.
I have two older brothers, or should I say, had two older brothers.
What happened? Did he die? Why is it getting so morbid so early on?
Since they are no longer living with us. I had no idea where they went, and my parents refused to give me a straight answer.
Okay.
When I ask, I always get, they went to stay with your grandparents, or it doesn't matter anymore, they're gone.
I feel like maybe I wouldn't accept that answer, not gonna lie. If I'd lived with someone my whole entire life, one day they just, upped and left, and my parents were like, it doesn't matter. I think I would maybe just be like a little bit suspicious.
I remember the last time I saw my oldest brother, Matthew. My father and him were having a big fight. The next day, my brother disappeared. His room was empty, and my parents acted like everything was normal.
So the parents murdered them. Makes sense. Okay, let's keep watching. I'm glad I've already put that together.
And when I asked about Matthew, they said he'll be back soon, but he never did. The same thing happened nearly 3 weeks later with my older brother Adam, except that there was no fight with him. He was just here one day and gone the next.
Well, you know what? If my parents did murder my brother, which I don't have, but hypothetically, I think I would also potentially just leave. That sounds like a situation I don't want to be in. You know what you do want to be though? Subscribe to my channel. I mean, you probably don't, but that's fine. It's free. Unless you want to become a member, press the join button. Find out some more.
I kept asking what had happened to them, but they just kept avoiding the entire conversation.
Well, yeah, murderers don't usually admit to it.
I didn't understand why they wouldn't answer me. I just wanted to know.
Because they would go to jail.
I missed my brothers, and while I was trapped in my own head wondering what could have happened to them, I started to notice something else.
Trapped in your, what, isn't it? Isn't it obvious? I feel like I've already put that whole puzzle together.
My parents were avoiding me, like I didn't even exist.
Why do they always give the women in these true story animations, such... You know what I mean? Like, when Jesus animated me up in the clouds, why couldn't I have had a little more?
I would walk into a room and they would stop talking, or
why is he so
start
small?
a new conversation, or even a few times, they would simply stop what they were doing, get up, and walk out of the room. After my second brother disappeared, I decided that was it.
I get they must be in the mob. That's the only reasonable explanation I have for this, or the FBI or something, I don't know.
I want to call the police, but when the police arrived
Do it then,
at our
pussy.
home, my parents managed to convince them that they had no other children but me. They even showed them fake
And that's when
documents that stated
I would leave.
And they also claimed that I was crazy. The police believed them and left. I thought that after the police left, my parents would tell me something, anything. Get mad for calling them or react, but again, they did nothing. So I went to my room. I felt so lonely without my brothers. I sprawled out on my bed and stared at the ceiling. I had to figure out what the hell was going on. I thought of a plan. The only way to figure out what was happening was to what my parents were saying while they were alone. So the plan was that I would sneak into their bed.
I have a feeling this is a terrible plan. I also like technology, just a little microphone, just plant it under the bed or in the kitchen. You don't have to physically be there. It's 2020, dude. You don't have to use your own eyes to spy on people nowadays. Not that I've ever done that.
Bedroom and hide underneath their bed before they went in there.
You see that animation? He just laid down and slid down. So funny.
To go to sleep, and I would just sneak out after they fell asleep. Seems foolproof, right? Maybe this way I could get some answers about what was going on. Later that day, all three of us sat at the table and ate our dinner in silence, which is how every meal went for the last month or so. Nobody looked at anything other than our plates as we shoveled the mediocre meatloaf into our mouths. After I finished mine, I excused myself and went back to my room and waited.
Okay, unpopular opinion, I love meatloaf. I am from the land of England is in fact my city, so we don't really engage with meatloaf here. I don't know what that was, but I was in Florida last year. Someone made me some good meatloaf. My life has forever been changed since that day.
They always went to bed at the same time every day. So I knew it wouldn't be hard to get in there and into position under the bed before they came up to go to sleep.
I don't trust people with a regular sleep schedule that go to the bed at the same time every single day.
It was almost time for my parents to come up to bed. So I crept into their bedroom, being sure not to creak any boards that they might hear downstairs, and crawled underneath their bed.
This is terrifying.
The air was thick with dust, and after the bedskirt was down and in place, the darkness was absolute.
Does he realize he's gonna have to stay there for the whole entire night, right? Like, what if they want to...
Now all there was left to do was wait. So I waited, and waited, and eventually I fell asleep. It was weird they didn't come to bed when they normally did, but when they did finally come to bed and my father climbed into bed, I woke up. I could hear them talking, but it was the end of the conversation. That would definitely work, my mother said, sounding happy. But I think we should try something a little less drastic. What in the hell were they
like not murdering your children?
Yeah, you're right, my father replied. We'll try to figure something else out. I heard the sound of a quick kiss. The bed creaked as my father got comfortable. And then there was nothing but breathing, and in between each breath, an echoing silence. After I knew that they were asleep, I quietly made my way out of the bed.
Just like that.
Lying in bed, I tried to figure out what they could have been talking about. The next day, I decided that I was going to hide underneath their bed again, and not fall asleep this time.
Well, clearly this isn't working.
When I finally came to bed, they never mentioned anything out of the ordinary. I was going to figure this out and didn't care if I had to crawl under there every single night until I could find out what was going on. I just needed to know. This went on for close to a week before they mentioned anything relating to whatever was so drastic. We could always just ship him off to a military school, my mother said as they walked into the bedroom.
You don't have to murder him.
Wait, is this where my brothers went? Yeah, but the only problem with that is when he gets done with school, they're just going to ship him back, my father answered. I know, but we have to figure something out, my mother said. And I know that you don't want to do anything as drastic as what happened before.
You don't have to do anything with your children. You could just, like, keep them or just, like, even put them up for adoption if you don't want them anymore, you know? You don't have to, like... I'm just making assumptions here.
I like him more than I like the others. I heard my father sigh deeply. Yeah, but we can't keep doing this. It's draining us out. I felt my father shift his weight above me. Listen, get some sleep. I heard the kissing sound again. Try not to think about it. After I got back to my bedroom, I tried to piece together what I had heard. My parents did something to my brothers. I don't know what it was, but I was starting to get the feeling that they weren't staying with my grandparents like they said.
Facts. Although I kind of knew that the whole way, and I've only been watching this video for 5 minutes, and this has been your life for the last, 20 or so years.
And they didn't bring anything new up, but something weird started happening. My parents were being nice to me. I found both of them staring at me with a smile on their faces, and their eyes lost in a daydream. They would get up and leave the room, and I would be left with a creepy feeling. After nearly 2 weeks of hiding in their bedroom, I still had no answer. When I got home from school, I was surprised to see a birthday cake waiting for me. My parents then said, "Happy..."
Why? Was it not your birthday? Or do they just hate you? I guess they do. If they're killing their kids, they can't like them that much.
18th birthday. I was confused. My birthday was in 8 months, and they knew it. I started asking questions. And they said that they forgot to tell me that I had always celebrated my birthday on the wrong date.
How do you just, do that? I have a lot of questions about this situation. Okay. There's 4 minutes left of this video, and my delivery guy is about 2 minutes away with my Nando's, so let's be fast.
I was beyond disturbed. And then I saw a military bus arriving. My parents handed me some bags and said that they have prepared this surprise for me. That I was going to join the military.
They are shipping him off.
I said that I wasn't going. But then 2 huge men got out of the bus and they came to grab me inside. So I ran. I ran as fast as I could down the street, never looking back.
As would I.
I ran till I could run.
As would I. I'm not entirely sure how we outran the military guys, but, it is what it is.
Curb and looked down the street in the direction I came. No one was following me. A car drove by me and pulled over next to me.
Maybe that was the plan.
He asked what I was doing here.
Running away from my sociopath parents that are trying to kill me, no big deal.
Have a good day, officer.
I could have told him that my parents were evil and they were planning to get rid of me like they did with my brothers.
And you didn't why?
But I knew the police would believe my parents like they did last time. I don't know what's got me, but I decided to run from the police too. It just felt like the whole world was against me.
I mean, yeah,
but
probably.
Of course, the police got me. I was taken into investigation. They said that I was acting suspiciously because I refused to cooperate. But then they wanted to call my parents to come pick me up. I started crying, begging them not to. That's when I started talking. I told them about everything that had happened with me, about my brothers who disappeared, and how my parents had all the fake documents needed to get away with it.
And please, let be a good climax. I've been watching this for way too long now.
That's when the police decided to open up a secret investigation
Heck
to see what my
yeah!
parents were up to,
Heck
and I
yeah!
had to cooperate with them. The
Okay.
police started looking into my parents' records. And to my shock, the records stated that they had adopted 3 boys 17 years ago. The boys' names were Jacob, Jasper, and Eddie. I was confused for a moment, but
Is that
then
his
it
name?
started to make sense. These boys were me and my 2 brothers, but these were not our names.
Oh, okay.
The officer then said that the 3 brothers were born in the same month, which was super weird. I thought that my brothers and I were different ages. Why haven't they told us that we were adopted? And why they changed our names and birthdays? I was baffled.
I'm also baffled. Every time I think I'm coming to some kind of conclusion, is my food dude here? See, I keep getting off track. Exactly like what's happening in this video. I'll be right back. I need to get my chicken. Guys, you have no idea how much suspense I'm in right now. I'm waiting for the dude to bring my food up, and I really want to know whether his parents are serial killers or not. Okay, just a few more minutes. Come on, he's just got to go up a couple of floors, and then he'll be here with my chicken, and then I can find out. Why am I so invested in a true story animation? I don't know. Why are you even here? Subscribe while you're at it. Okay, be right back. Let's continue.
Discover more. That's when they offered that I go back to my parents' house and wear a wire under my clothes. I didn't hesitate.
I would say no.
The next day, I wore the wire, and I went knocking on my parents' door while an undercover police car waited outside. When my parents opened the door, they were surprised to see me.
As would
went
I.
in, and then I stepped
I'm pretty sure I just sprayed bleach on my hands. Okay, let's finish this quick.
I told them I knew about the whole adoption thing, that they lied about our ages and our names, and I demanded
Interesting.
that they come clean. Both of them seemed surprised that I had found all of this out. And for the first time, I saw them lose their cool.
Please, I hope that isn't like a sweet, rational explanation for this. I really hope they're psychopaths.
They started arguing with each other,
Yes!
how they had it under control until they went too easy on me. I interrupted them and yelled, "Just tell me the truth!"
Heck
That's when
yeah!
my father, with his angry tone, started shouting, "You were so stupid not to figure it all out all of these years. Your 2 brothers knew years ago." Then he told me with anger that yes, we were adopted. They had only adopted us to get social and income benefits, which their lawyer had set up. Actually, they had
This
made
is so
off
boring.
with $250,000. Their plan was to let us go as soon as we turned 18 without exposing their illegal adoption.
So they didn't like get any emotional attachment to the kids during that time? I don't know. Like, you can adopt kids and like get money for it, but like you only have to use that money to like, you know, feed the kids and stuff. I don't really think you make much profit from it. How would I know?
That's why they tricked one of my brothers into working abroad, after they sent him an email claiming to be a known company. And as for my other brother,
So when he got there, there was no job. He was just like, I'm gonna just stay here.
lied to him and said his real parents were millionaires who live in South Africa. And now
This is so
he's out there
annoying.
looking for them. As for me, the plan was to send me off to the military,
I wish this was a murder investigation.
cut all contact with me, and move to another country. I couldn't believe it. They have scammed me my whole life. Tears were running down my cheeks. I wanted to get out of there. But that's when my father yelled, "Where do you think you're going with all these secrets? You will be spending some time in the basement." And before I knew it, he grabbed me aggressively. My alleged mother started helping him get me under control, but that's when the police broke in. And
Heck yeah! Heck yeah!
after that, both of them got locked up, and the police closed down the investigation. However, I'm still searching for my brothers, and I hope I'll find them one day.
Boring. Guys, I was really hoping there was going to be like some elaborate like kidnapping scheme going on here, but no, they just wanted money from the government. I guess they can't really put murder in a kid's YouTube animation video. I don't know, but I can. 1 like equals 1 Kiera starts her own animation channel. Okay, gotta go now. Bye!